I've been wanting to make this video for some time because I think it's important for us to talk about different perspectives of history. Now, we all know that history is written by the winners, but there are also the people who've lost that have their perspective that needs to be heard. And judging from what I've read and from what I've watched on YouTube and other social media platforms on white Southerners, I think this is their perspective on the black race and race relations in general. I think the white Southerner looked at the black race as a backward race of people, inferior race of people. The people that just couldn't live in a civilized society and not only live in it, manage it and be leaders in that society. And so they believed that they had a civilized society. And this society they worked very, very hard to build, and black people just shouldn't be a part of it. They just shouldn't. So let's start from the beginning. The white Southerner would say, listen, we brought these people over as slaves, right? They didn't come here by their will. They came here against their will. They came here literally kicking and screaming. And so how can we just abruptly take them back to Africa where they have to adjust to Africa all over again? That's not necessarily fair, and that's not practical. And so let's just be a little sensible here and give them a part of town or part of a country where they can live on their own and have their own sort of community. That'd be nice. And that's just something that we can give them because otherwise they would just suffer in Africa. But they will not be in our community. They will not be in our society because these people can't adjust to our society. And there's going to be a tug of war between whose culture, whose perspective wins out. Is it going to be our perspective or their perspective? But it's going to be in our society and our institutions where we are going to fight over who has control. You see, the issue is control. We want control. We don't want the black race to have control. And so therefore we will restrict how they can go about living in our communities, being in our institutions, and being one of us. So we need segregation in order to maintain some sort of racial harmony, if there is any, in our state, in our individual state. Now, you got to understand the paranoia that white people had during that time of blacks, and just put yourself in their shoes. Black people are not just a small group of people. These are millions of people in your communities, millions of people in your state, millions of people. It is very, very hard to manage millions of people. Millions of people can change a community overnight. Overnight. A community that was probably clean and probably orderly overnight can be crime infested. And so the terror was allowing these people to have any foothold in your society. Because if they do, you will lose it. And so the feeling, the fear, the anguish that the white man had in dealing with the black race raised on emotional instability, where he thought that the only way to deal with a black man is to be brutal. We have to keep him in line. We have to make sure that they know who's boss. We have control over the state. We have control over society, our society. Our society is superior to your own. Our institutions are the way they are because we maintain these institutions this way, and your institutions are the way they are because you maintain those institutions that way. We will not give you our resources. We will not give you everything that we've done to make ourselves better because that is not our responsibility. It is your responsibility. And we have taken responsibility for you as slaves. You are no longer slaves anymore. And so it's your responsibility to take care of yourself. If you can just have your own community and we have our own community, we would be just fine. But now you're insisting that we have to have equality. We have to have institutions where we share institutions together, where we have some sort of racial equality, racial harmony. when we know that that's not going to be the case. What's going to be the case is that when you enter into our institutions, the standard gets lower because you cannot maintain the level that we're maintaining in our institutions. In order to make room for you, we have to diminish. We want to guard against that to the best of our ability, and the way we do it is through terror. We scare the living daylights out of you to move away the idea that you can have any dealings with us in a very, very close capacity whatsoever. And so we have to do this. If we have to lynch you, if we have to terrorize you, we're going to do that because we're not losing our institutions. We're not losing whatever we have to do. We see how you run your institutions. We see how you run your society. You don't know how to run a society. You're too uncivilized. You've never done it before. And so we don't want you in our society. But the reason why we really despise you, is because you have no desire whatsoever to learn from us and to grow and to modify how you act and how you behave into how we are. If only you acted the way we do, you learn from us, we teach you everything you need to know, you would be better off. But instead, you want to be ignorant, you want to be backward, you want to be behind. And we don't want people who are like you in our society. And so again and again, we're trying to impress to you. We don't want you in our society. We want you in your place, and we'll be in our place. And our place is superior because of what we do, what we produce, and your place is inferior because of what you produce. It's not because of any sort of systemic injustice. That's just what you can produce. You're uncivilized. You've never done it before. You can't do better than what you're doing now. And so we're not sharing with you. And that's just that. I think that's how the Southerner was thinking. That's his perspective. Now, do I agree? It's not for me to agree or disagree. It's just for me to say, I think that was what his mindset was. And if we can only understand that and have a true dialogue about it, we'd be much better off as a country. I hope that was helpful.